Hey Cancer, welcome to your love and romance reading for January 2022. We're going to connect here and see what's coming up for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. I know a lot of people like to check out their Venus sign when it comes to love. So when I do love readings, I like to incorporate the Venus energy as well. We're going to see what's happening here now. You might stumble across this video sometime other than January. That's totally fine. You're going to find it whenever it was time for you to find it, whenever you were meant to hear the messages. Keep in mind, it is a general reading for the collective. Not every single message is going to resonate. Take the ones that do, leave the ones that don't. So without further ado here, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Let's see what love messages are coming up for the Cancer collective. Alrighty, my dears. Let's get right on into it. And the first card that's coming up here is the Ten of Swords. Okay. Now, I know this is a terrifying looking card. However, in my experience, Ten of Swords has always come up both for myself when I'm pulling cards for myself and for clients that I have had for a really long time over the years that I've been to see like what happens between their readings and stuff. I've seen it come up before, very positive things, very positive changes. So it can seem like a negative situation because it's such a scary looking card. I mean, there's this dude here with 10 swords sticking out of his back. But the meaning of the 10 of Swords is breaking out of a karmic cycle or a karmic situation, being done with it once and for all. 10 of Swords also comes in with an air of sobriety. So if there have been certain self-medicating behaviors or addictions or self-destructive patterns that have made having healthy relationships challenging for you, you're done with it. You're coming into sobriety. If you are someone who has had a really hard time with relationships because you've found yourself time after time in a relationship with someone that's really struggling with self-medicating or struggling with addictions, you're breaking out of the energy that is drawing you to that situation, to somebody in that situation, and that's drawing somebody in that situation to you. You're breaking out of that, right? It's like when we're stuck in a loop and we're going around and around, same thing again and again and again and again. 10 of Swords is we're breaking out of that. Okay, some of you have had a really hard time in your love life, having happiness in your love life because of karmic ties or karmic bonds to past life agreements, and you're finally breaking out of those past life agreements once and for all. Okay, this could be a very significant generational curse for some of you that you're breaking out of once and for all. Okay, and it's freeing you up to having the love life that you enjoy. I feel that for you in some cases, and this is especially true if you're already coupled. You're already coupled, you guys have really been through your hardships, you've been through your hard times. I feel in that case, the 10 of Swords here is a person, like an actual literal person that has been stirring up a lot of conflict and a lot of drama in your lives and creating a lot of tension in your relationship. And this is a person that you guys are going to decide that you're cutting out. You guys are like, we can't deal with this anymore. We're arguing too much about it, or this person keeps coming around and stirring the pot. You guys are deciding to cut this person off. You're not welcome in our home. You know, don't call us. Don't come around here. You know, you're not invited to future situations. Don't bother inviting us to anything in the future of yours. Like, we are done. We are done. We are done. We are done. I feel for some of you, the 10 of Swords is a person that is just, for whatever reason, a miserable person that's creating misery in your life and in your relationship. and you guys are done with it. You're done with it. You're not allowing it. They're maybe kind of coming in and turning you guys against each other, and you're like, we can't have this anymore. We can't have this negative influence anymore. The next card that's coming up here for Cancer is the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords can come up when we feel stuck in a situation. And maybe for some of you, you know this person has to be cut out, but you're feeling like your hands are tied or you can't do it. And the Eight of Swords is saying that that is an illusion. You're not as stuck as you think you are. You're not as trapped as you think you are. You can break out of this. You will break out of this. It is definitely possible. Okay? Some of you are done with people in your life. You're done with the situation. You're ascending. You're evolving. You feel like you're around people who aren't just quite awake. And you're like, I just want to find my person, or I just want to find somebody that we can, go off and have this adventure together. But the Eight of Swords says you have to take the steps first. You have to get out of this current circle, out of this current energy, and then you're going to find soul family. Then you're going to find soulmates. Eight of Swords, you want to be careful and you want to be cautious, because with the Eight of Swords energy, we might be wanting somebody to come in and help us in a situation, but unfortunately that can attract this opportunistic kind of energy. Someone who's seeing us as like we're kind of in the corner, and they can come in and they can take advantage in some kind of way. You don't need that. You don't need to be taken advantage of. Eight of Swords wants you to know that the things that you're seeing as problems or obstacles are actually stepping stones, or opportunities that you can use to bring about change. You're not as stuck as you think you are. Pray about this. Meditate about this. Ask for guidance. Ask for courage to take the steps you're being guided to take, and know that there's a peaceful resolution here. You don't have to hurt anybody. You don't have to get hurt. There's a peaceful resolution here that you can disconnect from this energy and move on. Some of you have not been able to have a healthy love life because you've been forced to be in a situation to play enabler for someone. You're taking care of someone who is refusing to get better or refusing to be responsible. And it's messing up your love life. It's messing up your life in general, in all aspects. And you're like, oh, but I have to. Oh, but I have to. And Spirit is saying, no, you don't have to. You don't have to put up with these behaviors. You don't have to excuse them. You don't have to take on the role of enabler. The next card that's coming up here for Cancer is the Three of Wands. And the Three of Wands is the point of no return. There's nowhere to go but forward. It's time to move forward. It's time to move on. You have this mental expansion, this awakening. You've seen the truth. You've seen the light. You can't unsee what you've seen. And you got to just kind of put yourself out there and hope for the best. But the Three of Wands tells us that putting yourself out there, hoping for the best, it's going to have a positive outcome for you. There's going to be a positive return. I know a lot of people are used to watching the a lot of people are used to watching tarot readings for love and romance, and sometimes the Three of Wands gets typecast as like a third-party situation. And that can be true in some cases, okay? Maybe you have found yourself in cycles of third-party situations where unwillingly you end up in that situation. And you're like, oh gosh, this always happens. You're breaking out of it. No more third party, right? You're not going to be somebody's favorite. You're going to be somebody's only one. You're not going to be somebody's, oh, well, they have a difficult situation. They have a difficult circumstance, so I will accommodate them. I will be more convenient for them because they're in a difficult place. You're not doing that anymore. You're not going to be in a shared situation. Some of you might be traveling and meeting somebody significant through this travel. Or there's a sense of entrepreneurship here with Three of Wands. Some of you may be encountering somebody through entrepreneur type endeavors, okay? But I definitely feel a sense of like moving on with your life, setting your focus, putting yourself out there, and it working out favorably for you. Some of you are trying to heal from a betrayal. And Three of Wands is saying you're going to heal from the betrayal by, putting yourself out there, pursuing your dreams, pursuing your goals, pursuing your ambitions. And you're going to find somebody much better. You're going to find much better circumstances for yourself. The next card that's coming up here for Cancer is the Queen of Cups. And Cancer, this could very well be you in your beautiful water sign energy. Okay, stepping into your power, stepping into the power of your emotions. Some of you feel like love life isn't working out for you because you're too emotional. But the Queen of Cups is saying that, for me in my readings, Queen of Cups is telling me that your success in this situation really depends on you embracing your feelings and really making time for emotional self-care. If you're in a situation where you're getting stabbed in the back, you're getting betrayed, you're not feeling supported, people don't seem to care about your feelings, people don't seem to care about what you need, you find yourself time and time again in situations where you are being more convenient for other people, accommodating other people. What about you? That relationship, or every relationship that we have, is a reflection of the relationship we have with ourselves. If you're not making time to honor your emotions and feelings, you're going to find yourselves in relationships with people who are not concerned about your emotions and feelings. So you have to make your emotions and feelings a priority. Now, obviously, you might have some obligations in your life. You might not be in a position where you can wake up and say, I'm depressed or I'm angry, I'm not going to work today. You may have to go to work. You may have to pay bills. But you can set aside time at the end of the day to honor your feelings, to honor your emotions, to check in with yourself. What am I feeling? I'm feeling sad. I need to cry. I need to put on my sad music and just kind of mourn this situation. I'm feeling angry. I need to scream into a pillow. I need to, take up kickboxing or something and punch a punching bag and kick things, or, take some stuff out to the yard and just bust it up. Whatever you need to do to get out these feelings in a healthy, constructive way. You need to make time to check in with your feelings, process those feelings, let yourself feel them, let yourself sit in them, let yourself experience those feelings, and then to take time to do things that soothe you. Journaling, movies, books, writing, maybe like a nice bath, anything that you can do to soothe or comfort yourself, to be good to yourself. You need to take time for emotional self-care. Traditionally, Queen of Wands is oftentimes seen as like wifey material, wifey situation. So you may be manifesting stepping into that role of wifey, or manifesting, finding the right wife for you if you are seeking a wife. But the Three of Wands makes me feel that some of you have found yourself time and time again in these third-party situations. And the reason and the root of it is because you have not been making your feelings a priority. And once you do, you are finding that you are being honored, or you are being in a relationship that has that sense of commitment, that sense of honor, and somebody who cares about your feelings and who is nurturing and loving and compassionate towards you. Your next card coming up here, Cancer, is the Queen of Swords. Now, this could be air sign energy. Some of you could be dealing with a Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini. If you have an air sign placement, it could be you coming in with that energy. Queen of Swords for me sometimes sometimes can indicate mother-in-law. And I don't mean it to insult anybody, because I know that there are many very loving, very kind, very warm mother-in-laws out there. Okay, I'm not trying to stereotype and say that all mother-in-laws are bad. My one and only experience with the mother-in-law was horrendous. And so some of you might be one of the unlucky ones who has a horrendous experience with a mother-in-law. I feel like something is happening in January where your partner is finally seeing this. Your partner is finally seeing that this is a really toxic situation, and mom is like completely and totally out of line. And they will take the step, and they will take the boundary, and they might even tell their own mother, you are not welcome in our home. You are not welcome in our business anymore. But what you need to know, Cancer, is you cannot step into it. Because if you say anything, their natural instinct is gonna be to, protect and defend their mother, right? It's kind of like if you have siblings or if you have friends, you can complain about your siblings. You can complain about your friends. You can talk all kinds of trash about them. But the second somebody else says something about your siblings or your friends, you can't talk about my sibling that way. You can't talk about my family that way. Shut up, right? Like you're going to be defending them. And it's a natural instinct. You have to let your partner process this on their own. And to realize and see that, wow, this is really toxic. This is doing a lot of damage. They will make the right choice. They will make the right decision. But you have to let them make it. If you're trying to convince them or argue with them or push them to do it, it's going to have the opposite effect. For other ones of you, right, we talked about being in situations or relationships where people are not honoring your feelings. They're not making you a priority. The Queen of Swords is going to have to do with boundaries, setting strong boundaries, right? Like you're enforcing what you said. You're not letting things slide. Some of you are frustrated in a relationship, or you feel like you've just had this cycle in relationships in the past where you speak your truth. You're open about your feelings and you say what you don't like, and things get better for a little bit and then they slide back to the old way. It's because we're not consistent. It's because we're not, it's like dealing with a child or dealing with a pet. And I'm not saying this in a mean or condescending way. I'm not putting people down and calling them babies or calling them animals. But it is still the same principle. If you tell your child, no, you can't have, a cookie before dinner, and they keep asking you, and you're telling them no, but then eventually you're like, okay, fine, I've had a hard day. I don't want to deal with the tantrum. I don't want to go with the back and forth. Just let them have the damn cookie. Or they sneak one and we catch them sneaking one and they've already bitten it and they've already eaten half of it. And we're like, oh, okay, well, it's done. They already had it. Okay, well, you think you're slick. Okay, whatever. And you let it slide, right? We have to be consistent. No means no. And if they start with that behavior again, we can't let it slide. You might be dealing with somebody who is testing your boundaries or pushing your boundaries. And you have to be able to say no. And anybody who is putting you in these situations where you're feeling disrespected or you're feeling like your feelings don't matter, these are people that don't need to be around you. Even within your friendships. You may have to clear this energy in your friendships so that you can have a healthier energy in your love life or in your family dynamic. Boundaries are very important for you right now, Cancer. If you tell somebody you don't like something, you need to enforce that. You can't let it slide. You can't let them sweep it under the rug. That's how we fall into the patterns or the cycles of the same thing happening again and again and again. And this is the time to break out of the cycle, to break out of the pattern. And to have somebody who cares about your feelings, who cares about what you need, who's emotionally available, who's emotionally attentive, who's loving, who's expressive, where you are the only one, not the favorite one. You deserve that. And you deserve a relationship and a home that is full of peace and love, without negative interference, without negative influence. So you have to be comfortable with making your emotions a priority and making your relationship a priority. You may want to check out your moon sign, your rising sign, your Venus sign, if this is none of those for you. Some months, those might resonate more than your sun sign. You may need a private reading, which I'm more than happy to do for you. If you go to calendly.com/amethystangelite, you can schedule a private reading with me there. If you would like to check out the 2022 12-month forecasts, those are also all posted. I have those linked in the description. Schedule private readings at calendly.com/amethystangelite. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. I'm wishing you all a wonderful January and a happy new year. Take care, my dears. Bye.